Topic number one today. Dion, when's the last time you watched Cinderella?
That's the one she got the shoe.
Yep.
I dated a girl once that like her shoe fell off and she asked me to put it back on and I did. And she goes, I feel like Cinderella. I had no idea what she was talking about.
That's a crazy, crazy work, but good segment here. Actually, not good segment. What segue whatsoever. It is gonna be a good segment. Y'all gotta let me rock, man. I'm still very tired. But I want to have a quick discussion about NIL and Cinderellas and kind of how March Madness is played out. I believe you had a stat or something like that. Isn't this the first Sweet 16 in how many years that there's not greater than an 11 seed is what it was?
It was no 11 seeds, I want to say since 2011.
It's 2011. Okay. So like
Yes.
there's obviously the Sweet 16 currently is a little bit chalky, right? I think the highest seeded team is Arkansas at 10.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you have one seeds are all still in. There's some two seeds still in as well. It's just it seems to be a little bit more chalky than usual, and it raises the question, is NIL killing the Cinderella run? Um, and I wanted to ask and pose that question to you and just kind of hash that out because my initial thoughts, it is. It truly is because these Cinderella teams aren't able to be the best they could be because they really don't stick together, right? They move on, they use it as a springboard conversation. But I don't think it's the only issue though, because at the same time, to become a Cinderella, you have to make a run in the tournament. And then once that player makes a Cinderella run, then they move on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I get it, but I don't really necessarily blame it all on NIL. What do you think the cause of like not, the lack of Cinderella teams is?
Yeah, honestly, I just think the best teams are really good this year. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just think, and that's okay. Um, I'm trying to find the stat to make sure I said it right because it might have actually been 2016. I can't find it, so we're just gonna go with 2011. Like, who's gonna tell us that it's not 20? But like, I just think, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Like, I look at every level. Was the NBA Finals when it was Denver, Miami better because a play-in team made the finals and we had some Cinderella run, or would we have rather seen Denver, Boston? We would have rather seen Denver, Boston. At every level, like the idea is to see the best teams and the best players play each other. And that's what we're gonna get. And I don't think it's a I think you're doing a disservice to both mid majors as well as like the Power Fives by downplaying what the Power Five schools have done this year. And they're just really, really talented. They're well coached. They don't make mistakes. I think that's the biggest difference is these high level programs would make just brain dead mistakes, I guess you could say, against the mid majors, and the mid majors made no mistakes and took advantage. I don't think NIL changed that. I think these teams are just playing better. The mid majors had a down year. It's one time. Like it's gonna happen again, whether NIL exists or not. Like it just is what it is. At the end of the day, Arkansas, Duke, Houston, Florida are going to have more talent than Drake. It is what it is. That's how it's going to work. And I think those teams just played really well, and some of the mid majors just had a little bit of a down year, but that won't last forever. They'll be right back to winning next year.
Yeah, and look, for me, you know, I like how the tournament plays out like this too. Like, Cinderella's win a couple games. You have the McNeese winning the game, you have Drake winning the game, but then you get down to like the nitty gritty. You get to the Sweet 16, you want the best teams playing. And I feel like that's what we have right now. So I don't know. I don't think NIL is really killing the Cinderellas. If anything, it's hurting college basketball as a whole, but I don't think it's necessarily hurting the Cinderellas. I think you'll still get your Cinderella runs. For the reason I stated, to be honest with you, I think that these kids now, whether it's for better or for worse, are approaching these games and these tournaments like if I can make a run in this one, I could probably change my life. You know what I'm saying? Like you win a game in this tournament, you make a Cinderella run, you can go secure a bag, like right? So there's that extra motivation for them in this case.
Yeah, I just found the stat. It's no 11 seeds since 2007, so it's been 18 years.
That's
Uh,
crazy.
but it happened pre NIL. Like, and here's the thing: is like we as college basketball fans have to realize like these kids were getting paid before. So
Yes.
respectfully, like Seth Curry went on a run with Liberty and then was at Duke next year.
Yeah.
You,
Uh,
you, Come on, man. You're telling me he didn't get a little bag to go to Duke? Like, shout out Coach K. It is what it is. Like, but I think, in my honest opinion, it would only magnify them wanting to go on a run if you're a mid-major guy. Are you wanting to go on a run because you want to stay at Drake? No, but you would sure love to go on a run. That way Nate Oates comes calling. That way you can get a couple milli. Like Trey Townsend last year, right? Beat Kentucky with Oakland, and then now he's at Arizona making a bag. And I think that's the aspect of it. Like the portal, if anything, has ruined mid-majors' ability because they can't keep guys. But I don't think the money aspect is what's ruined it for them.
Yeah, and I still think you'll see Cinderellas, just Cinderellas to a lesser degree. And that's fine. That's part of college basketball. Things need to change, things are fluid. Um, I'll end it with this. Cinderella will be just fine. Stop blaming people, Cinderella. Take some accountability, okay? Go seek therapy. It is March, and that means that March Madness is upon us. And if you are looking for a place to play, Underdog Fantasy has you covered. Sign up and deposit using code SLEEPERS, that's code SLEEPERS, to receive up to $1,000 in bonus credit plus a free pick. Head over to Underdog Fantasy today and use promo code SLEEPERS to take advantage of this amazing offer.